Good morning. I am higher vibrations, and so are you. And boy, oh boy, has it been a couple of days and a half, huh? It's been a very energetic couple of days. We've all been feeling it. I know that yesterday morning when I woke up, I did 100% feel like I was waking up in a whole different world. Everything feels better. There are people who are feeling the other way, and that doesn't mean that anyone's doing anything wrong or right. It's just that's where we are. I noticed that there's like left foot, right foot kind of motion forward in a lot of the ascension stuff that we have. And I have a tendency to tuck my joy in when I don't want to rub it in that I'm feeling good and someone else isn't. Though Spirit strongly is encouraging me to tell you guys about the euphoria, about the bliss that a lot of us get to have, and that you can too. And that just so you know that this isn't selling you anything, this is just letting you know that what you're going through right now is temporary. That just barely on the other side of that density, because I felt the density too. Why is it World Water Day? That's an interesting holiday to pop up on my screen. Anyway, fascinating. Anyway, so just as this shift occurred, a lot of people participated in the chant. A lot of us joined in as one throughout the planet, wherever you were at, and chanted the love or peace, love, respect, and unity to bring in those energies. And it was noticeable, like full on felt that. So I don't know about any of y'all if you participated or not, but that was pretty fun. I know that there's going to be more of those. That there was one in November as well. And so them having done another one so soon, I'm sure there's going to be something else if you missed it. But today is a Neptune Kazemi, which is awesome. In the Neptune Kazemi, we have the water element, Poseidon, joining very closely in with the sun, and having this conversation is actually a pretty powerful thing to observe, because we'll also see that the following day also is the conjunction of the moon and Pleiades. So we have sun, moon, break, sun, moon, and then break. So one thing that's happening this week. So Poseidon and the sun. The next Kazemi that we're having is the Saturn one, which is time, Chronos. And so I don't know about you guys, but I really am finding it difficult to keep up with not just calendars, or not just clocks, but calendars as well. Time is very different right now than usual. So feeling it really very much in my body. Most of us that I've talked to over the past couple of days, specifically the left hip. And if not, feeling it, having something going on in that area of the body. I know, it's just so bizarre. Sometimes I remember there was this big thing about the right big toe for a while there. I'm sure there are still some people, though. Yes. And having to do with the flow of your energy and this area, what we've collected here, stored here. A lot of us are learning to release that energy. And so divine masculine, divine feminine, counterpart kind of stuff. On the left side, I acknowledge it as the divine feminine. And so there you have all of the things associated with what that means. I mean, we have the motherly stuff. We have the maternal things that we have come through. We have, the nurturer, the caretaker kind of stuff. But we also have like the mama bear kind of stuff too, right? And so, and that this area of the body where we kind of collect things, I find over here is often associated with false belief systems, false narratives regarding abundance or lack thereof, security, things like this. And so people who tend to have a lot of anxiety will notice that this area, the root chakra and the sacral chakra, will both usually be very areas of the body where assistance or extra energy can be guided to assist them. So this is something that's really fascinating that we're kind of observing across the board. I know that I'm feeling weird, like otherworldly. I don't really feel like I'm here right now. I really don't. I feel we're connecting to a lot of different realm energies, is what it feels like. And so it feels strange trying to be here in a very clear, focused manner. Like, as if we're energetically already doing things. I don't know about y'all, but I've been getting pretty much nonstop downloads for a while. And so these downloads are very distracting. And I don't mean it like I'm annoyed by it. I'm like, it feels kind of like that awesome nap that you keep pushing snooze. You know what I mean, right? When you get in that and you are able to convince yourself when you're in the nap that snoozing is the best option of all the options available. That's what it feels like when I'm getting all these downloads. Is I lean into it because it's like, wow. And often we'll get distracted. People, or I'm talking to somebody. There's been times recently where I've been on a live and I'm just the whole time just like try to focus on what's going on in front of me. So a lot of downloads. I've been hearing about a lot of people who are just now starting to get their clairs, their clairaudience, their clairvoyance, all the different clairs. There's a whole bunch of them. Like starting to use their intuition in a different way, visually seeing orbs and solar looking beings or bodies, energetic spheres, all around them in different ways that they've never had before, or even some that have already been seeing energies and things are seeing it bigger. Like I was just talking to one person. She's so beautiful. I love her. Though, she's clearly starting to see what I see as energy, because there's actually like rainbows all around us. It looks kind of like if paint couldn't blend, you put it into a container and just stir it into with water. Those swirly, whirly, different kinds of colors. Sometimes it's like yellow and light blue with white, and sometimes it's more vibrant over here, pastels and vibrance and stuff. It's very, and so seeing those things, starting to see those things at first, some people start to wonder, are my eyes okay? Is there something wrong with me? Most often we'll see these types of things from our peripheral vision, typically, though not limited to, the left side of the body. People will often first see these energies coming in from the left side. And, from your peripheral, because when we try to use our physical eyes, then it's a limiting filter, right? So that's why we divert our eyes or bow. A lot of religions and cultures observe that, though often it's been adopted and used for something else, meaning respect and things like that. When in fact, with spirit, where it comes from and what it means is when we gently divert our gaze. So drop your gaze from looking right at the thing to right below it, and you'll begin to see, because you use your crown and your third eye simultaneously for higher sight, right? And this also is effective when we see them from the side. And so when we see them from one side or the other, that peripheral. So, and on top of that, many people concerned about the nature of these appearances of they often will appear to be shadows. And being a shadow, the color doesn't tell you its character, and the energy tells you its character. Often energies that are not that nice won't clearly show that, in a visual way. Often there's a lot of different things that happen. However, if you are concerned, you don't know what these energies are, and there's, what if I'm, let's take away the what if and instead send love to it. Like, as if you were saying, I love you to someone you love so dearly, that energy you bring up and that comes just here. It actually leaves this area of your body before the sound leaves your lips. So that feeling that you get just before you say that, that's the frequency, that's the resonance of the thing. You can do that, or you can straight up say, I love you. I know at an earlier point in my life when Spirit showed me to do this was quite a few years ago, there were times where I was actually shouting, I love you. It still worked. It still worked, So letting yourself send love to it, then if it is of love, it will send love back to you. Often, I mean, every time so far in my experience, but often it will return the love and like doubled at least, with a huge intensity. I would probably measure it to be more like 7 times more at the very least. If it is not of love, it will flee, for the shadow cannot stand before the light. It just doesn't like to. It gets all wiggly and freaky and frantic-y. When it goes into that frantic state, that is when it's more volatile. So sending love to it and also filling yourself up with love by saying love also puts you in a safe, energetic bubble that helps you, right? Anyway, there's these beings that most people are seeing, however, they are of love. They are someone who's always been there, usually too. There's been, or at least been there for a while, or have come in and out, right, of the audience of you. Most often, how I'll first see them when I'm not paying clear enough attention is they'll show up with like a frame or a silhouette of a glowing light, of like a subtly glowing light. It's kind of a soft light. I don't like being startled. And so I've had this conversation. The other way that they'll begin to start to show them. So, oh yeah. And that little faded silhouette line around them, that's their aura, by the way. It's just the brightest part of them. And so they'll be almost like a matte finish, kind of flat, like blackness, or you can tell that something's missing inside of there. You know what I mean? Like if you are using one of those editing programs and you erase a thing, then it kind of blurs in a little bit too. It feels like that. Someone's missing. And that's simply just because you're not at that time aligned or in tuned enough with that particular frequency to see the characters or the features of the face and stuff. Anyway, leaning into that, letting yourself open your third eye by diverting your view with the physical eyes, often will allow you to see what's more inside if you're interested. There's a high frequency of reports about this, so I knew that it was important to discuss this today. Before I get into your questions, I want to add something else, guys. There's some really cool stuff happening. By the way, I don't know about y'all, but like the appetite and the stuff going on with the throat chakra, all around the throat chakra, the mouth, this whole area, there's a lot of stuff going on. I even got a couple of like they weren't really strong headaches, but I don't really get headaches anymore. I used to at an earlier age when I was eating things and doing things that were just very not good for me. But it wasn't very, very long lasting, but it just kept coming back and it was just very subtle. So that was something that's been recently happening. Also, I find it to be fascinating because here's a Mandela effect thing happening. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just that, I don't know. I thought we were already talking about the fact that we're in the debris field of Three Eye Atlas. Like, why is this new information? Is it just me? Did we talked about this, right? This has been a conversation for like a while now. We've been getting them. Now all of a sudden everyone else is talking about that. And it's like, did that? Because I know we just jumped timelines. So is that a new timeline? This timeline is just happening. People are just finding out, because there's been all these videos and things popping up on my notifications about this. And because, I'm sure it stirred the interest of people that we had a meteorite land in Germany, then Ohio, and now last night or yesterday afternoon in Texas, and people are finding at least some of the fragments of them, and they're very loud. Those ones are very fascinating, but they are Three Eye Atlas. We've been going through the debris field of Three Eye Atlas for a while, and so we're getting a lot of, you can call it ancient alien DNA, you know, like these, because they're the ancient ones, these energies that were left as 3i Atlas passed our crossed our now path that we're in, the place between the sun and where it is now. And apparently it's over there by Jupiter doing something. They're wondering if it's going to like slam into, interact with Jupiter in some way. Anyhow, is that it left off these breaths every almost 6 minutes. They said it in a different time, but I bet it's actually 5 minutes and 55 seconds, because they said 5 minutes and 56 seconds one time and 5 minutes and 54 seconds in their time. So anyway, every 5 minutes and 55 seconds, the 3i Atlas is breathing out an Olympic pool size quantity of water, like along its path, on top of other kind of debris, because it got so close to the sun. When it did, it just started to like dump out stuff, right? And anyway, we're in that field. We're in that debris field right now. And being in that debris field, we've been getting the ancient water. What's been happening that's been consistent on this planet for over 100 years? The attempt to interfere with the consciousness of our water. And when you can interfere with the consciousness of someone's water, then you can keep it distracted enough to not be able to remember. It's kind of like grandma in a phased state kind of attempt to get that energy to happen, right? And so the clear knowledge, because what is water but a library, right? All memory contained in this place. It's this new water that's aligned, and it's teaching all the other water, you know, how to be again. So, and then you're, you know, what, between 68 and 82% water, you know, based on your body type and the time of the month and the age that you are and so on and so forth. But that's a lot of water, and that water we contain hears you. We've proven that. Dr. Emoto started the science of this, and later there's all these different amazing experimentalists, scientists in a spiritual sense, exploring this even further, that when you say or do kind things, have kind images around water, it changes its shape to emulate what the frequency is. And if you say things that are in opposition to that, like saying that you're not good enough, or unpretty, or whatever, all of those other like low self-worth kind of words, your water hears that too, and it looks ugly. The water molecules that are rapidly frozen they even have this yellowish tint to them, like an orangish yellow. It looks dirty, the water does. Now this water that's coming in from this high frequency, that's coming into our bodies, coming into our water sources, coming through our weather, you know, the storm Elsa, you know, was full of 3i Atlas, you know. We're getting a lot of this, and it's bringing us in our body state up to a higher frequency than it has ever been. Because 90 to 95% of your DNA is not junk DNA. And they're finally telling you that. It is dormant DNA. And they only started to tell us that was true, that it's dormant rather than junk, when kiddos started to be born with that DNA online. And those children have higher abilities. They are more, you know, they're imbued with the clairs, right? And so this is what's happening for us right now. It's beautiful, and it's good, and it's not scary. And I just saw so many notifications that we're just starting the conversation. I just want to put that to bed right now. There's no fear here. This is a good thing, just in case someone decides to take that narrative somewhere else, right? I should say hi to everybody. I've been talking for a little bit. Good to see you. I don't know how to say your name. Aina. I don't know how to say your name. I want to say your name the right way. Yes, the joint for sure. Oh, joint pain. Yes. Oh, I see. Also, Vegan Vixen says. So specifically, I've been noticing it. The people have been reporting, as well as my own experience, the left hip Some people said the knees. I know that there's been a lot of people feeling that, young people too, people of all age groups, without having any reason to like blame that on, right? You know what I mean? So, um, heck yeah. Thank you, Chef Deb. Hell yeah. If you're feeling good, clap your hands. If you're feeling good, clap your hands. I am feeling so amazing. So amazing. This is going to get better and better, better and better. And the whole point of us telling, rather not tucking in our happiness or tucking in our joy or elation or euphoria or bliss, any of those things, letting it be seen it makes it possible for others to see that it's accessible, that it's available, that this is the achievable goal, right? Discomfort in the inner thigh, says Berta. Hips and left buttock where the injections are given hurts me. Some symptoms from the spring 2023 have returned. This round was tough. They hit us with all weapons. There's a lot coming in. And I can say this too about this thing that a lot of us are experiencing is that something was initiated. It was 2023. In spring of 2023 was when the big solar flash started. And I know that you can go back to some of my long time ago videos now, and see that we're talking about it. And I know a lot of people have wanted to say that it was going to be an event, a big flash, and I've never received that information. I thought that was true, so I started to ask Spirit, and they said that's not how it's to be done. An overnight event would be catastrophic. That's not the goal. What the goal truly is transcendence. And in order to make that possible, there need to be bodies still here with souls in them. Having us ascend in this body is transcendence. And that's what we're doing right now. And if we had a big flash, if there was an overnight thing, it would be an extinction event. And that doesn't serve anyone at all. In particular, due to the fact that this time they want us to transcend. This time, it's time. This is the third go. We did it once before, and then after that, we did it again. And now this is the third. This third ascension is transcendence. Therefore, the big solar flash started around my birthday, like the end of February through March somewhere in 2023, in the time that you're talking about. And this is the end part of it, what we're getting right now. In fact, I feel very much that the 4/4 portal is when that's kind of like the what's that called, the grand finale of the solar event. That's when that sun gazer, is it called MAPS? Which was it? What's it called? It is called, MAPS. Spam, spelled backwards. It's a sun grazer. It's coming within 465,000 miles from the sun. I had thought I wrote it down for the translation in the other kind of measurement, but yeah, that's really close. It's less than the distance between the moon and the earth, and so quite a bit actually less than that, not even an entire point. Anyway, so that's during the time that we're going to start getting some more solar activity. These sun gazers, it's very likely this vessel will slam into the sun. We'll find out. It's not going to cause an eruption of the sun in any kind of magnitude exactly, though. Yeah, we'll get some more of the solar energy. It's going to complete this package because we're meant to be moving away from all of that now. We're meant to be. This past 3 years was supposed to be hard. It was expected to be hard. That this past 3 years was going to be the ones that we're going to be like puckering up for. And we're at the end of it now. We are literally here. And I know if you're not feeling it, I know a lot of you are tired. I know you've been doing this a long time. And it's very difficult to allow yourself to believe the likelihood that we're almost done, especially with the intentional narrative of fear coming in from so many different angles right now. And if it's possible for you to take 5 minutes each day and let yourself be in the energy of removing your disbelief, existing in ultimate belief for 5 minutes a day, that's it. That's what Archangel Michael suggests. I actually talked to somebody who followed that suggestion, and she's done it for 21 days, and her whole reality has shifted. Her whole reality shifted. Like, it's a big deal. I didn't mean to repeat it that way. I was going to say it differently. Anyhow, allowing yourself to exist, to be in that place of complete belief, removing all your disbelief for 5 minutes a day so you can allow yourself to feel the sense of the truth. That's it. You're not trying to brainwash yourself. You're unwashing your whatever those were. I don't even like any of those words. Anyway, you're unindoctrinating yourself and letting yourself see the possibility. Because as soon as you do, you start to feel it. You start to feel the joy. You get to feel the elation and the bliss that I'm talking about, that other people are experiencing right now too. That we're really there, guys. We are really there. And if you let yourself lean into it just a little bit, then you'll see that I'm right. And I don't need to be right. I'm just saying that this is right. It's important because that is your liberation. That's your freedom, right? And it's just beginning. It's only just starting. The good stuff is, if the curtains are going, the little squeal of the curtain as it opens, as it starts, the really goodness starts. That's now. When people farther down in the audience that maybe they didn't notice the house lights went down yet, so they're still in their world. Maybe they're still looking at their phone and they don't realize it. And that's okay. And there's some people in the audience that notice the person going over to pull the cord, to pull the curtain. They saw it before it started. And then there are people who are noticing it as it's parting itself the first time. None of those people are right or wrong. We're all in the moment that we're in, and it's okay, right? It's definitely time, though. We're definitely here. Funny World Water Day, and I'm sitting in the bath while listening to you. That's so cool, Christina. That's awesome. Yeah, what a cool day. Yes, I've got bad acid and flare-ups, unbearable. The doctor's medications aren't helping. Acid reflux. This is something that I use for my own, thing, and you use your discernment all you'd like. And I used to have this thing, and it turns out it's not that we have too much acid. Now, this is not medical advice. This is my own experience, so on and so forth. Is that we don't have too much acid when we have acid reflux. We don't have enough, and so what is done is that you take some salt. Salt makes the acid for you, and it calms it down. Use your own discernment, the quantity that you'll use. A lot of people are like me, and they'll just sprinkle a tiny, tiny bit on their palm and lick it, or they'll put it underneath their tongue and just let it sit in your mouth and dissolve in your mouth. Eventually you're going to want to swallow and stuff. But when you swallow it and it passes your larynx, basically that spot, when it passes that location of your mouth and goes into your throat, the absorption rate drops to like 30 something percent versus like 75% absorption. It's a complete opposite. So it absorbs into your system a lot easier and better if you put it on your tongue, leave it in your mouth and let it absorb there. Then you don't actually need the quantity either, right? That a lot of people are talking about too. So that's something that helped me. It's just and I'm not talking about table salt, the iodized or whatever they call it salt. We're talking about pink Himalayan salt, gray Celtic salt. A lot of people will use other kinds of salts. Those are the two that I will use. And there's just a lot to that. Table salt only has 2 minerals, and it's been whatever. It's just not good for us, So pink Himalayan salt's pretty affordable, and so is gray Celtic salt. Chemtrails have been relentless here in the UK. Anywhere else, yeah, there's all of a sudden a lot more lately, and that's also why I haven't been, or that's why I've been doing more garlic, eating raw garlic. I'm not just sitting there and chewing on it. Like I'll cut it up and then swallow it like a pill, and then 30 minutes later do it again. And then what I've found is I'll do that for like 2 hours, so I'll end up with 4 cloves of garlic. That's what I do. And I like to crush it first and let it sit to create that cool enzyme. Why I do that is I've noticed that it purges the heavy metals out of my neck and throat and stuff. So that has been associated with the chemtrails. So good to see you, Barb. Hope I didn't miss much. Greetings to you, Jim. Welcome. Chemtrails every day now. Yeah. I've been seeing a spirit in my living room a lot most recent. I thought it was my cat buddy. Then he comes in saying, meow. It's kick ass. Yeah, it's my peripheral. Yeah, this is super common. So just knowing that you're okay and letting yourself, it's one of those things that we will become alarmed or startled, and will lower our frequency just enough that we aren't unable to perceive it, or they'll take that as, oh, okay, I'll back up, kind of a thing often. So it's just about learning, to be stabilized and know that you're good. Also too, when they come in and they start to interact with us, they do feel like really high frequency. And so we'll also notice that we'll have physical sensations that are often associated with hey, it's 333. It's often associated with adrenaline dump, that you're just shaking. It's not always. Often we'll find that it's you feeling them rather than something going on in our body. Often, however, we will commonly believe that it's our body, and then we'll kind of jump into panic or anxiety, kind of stuff. So just being aware of it, it really helps. That's really cool to hear about that, Chef Deb. Rock on. Can't wait to hear more. I speak to mine and hope I will be okay if they speak back eventually. Awesome. Yeah, and if there's something else that I've done throughout my life is I'll invite those in that like guides and guardians and stuff, archangels that that bring forward protection and help you to feel safe and protected. As we do that, as we bring them in, then it teaches you to feel safe and to be able to utilize your energy of mama bearness. And that way, whether you're a dude or a chick, female or male, we all have that ability, and so allowing yourself to do that. I see shimmering like sun on water in my peripheral vision. There you go, Vegan Vixen. This particular, I see what you're talking about. Thank you for sharing that with me. That's really cool. When I look at them now, actually what I see, it looks like I'm looking at beautiful crystal with all the different cuts, but they're moving. It's like sacred geometry. It's really pretty. It's definitely a light being. That's really cool. That's really neat. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for inviting me to share that with you, Vegan Vixen. Wow. Those are cool. I've never met them before. That's neat. I never thought or felt bad vibe. Awesome, Chef Deb. Good to see you, Shell Shock 333. Welcome. I chalk up the head stuff up to the weather tripping and allergies. There is a lot of stuff going on with the weather, and I've just discovered some local things that we have here. It's like the purple dead nettle, or it's either dead purple nettle or purple dead. But anyway, those 3 words go together in some order and fashion. It solved all of my allergies. It's gone. I only had it one time, and it grows around here like a weed in people's yards and stuff. Got little purple flowers. If you are interested in looking that up, seeing if you have some nearby, I think that it had a lot to do with finding it locally too. Comet rain, the rain in, so hoarse, right? Yeah, Elsa, I love you. I miss you. I need to talk to you, dude. Good morning to you as well. Yeah, so we got the two comets. We got stars, and we also have maps or spam, right? Spam backwards. And both of those are actually they're actually thinking that we might end up having, uh, we end up having both of those in our view at the same time. I was just noticing that before I came on. That's actually why I was late. I found this video and I'm like, what? And I was listening into some of this information. Yeah, so the two comets are going to be, one's going to be passing right by us, and one will be on its approach to, if not already at the sun, when they line up. Possibly, they might. That'd be cool, right? The odds of that happening, of seeing two comets at once, is like very, very not. Yeah, the water. It's very uncommon to have two comets in the same month, let alone at the same time. We've got a lot of stuff going on right now. The breaths of the water, as it's breathing the water out into the cosmos around on its path. Now we're in that path. And so we're getting the new water. We've always known that water and memory, it was important. When you ask spirit, what is soul? They say water and light, comes to life. And if you think about it, all things require those things, water and light, and if they're away from the sun, they are able to receive a different kind of light, like some of these deep sea, deep ocean kind of fish and stuff. I'm so thankful I grew up with precious well water. Oh yeah, dude. Once I went to a well and I could never go back to piped water. It never again. Yeah, teaching the other water. So cute. And it works. So they said that 1 to 1 billion. Before they were saying a trillion. I don't know why it's different, but 1 drop to 1 billion. So 1 drop can teach 1 billion drops to remember. And I'm sure that those other drops can then impart their, out and out and out. Before you know it, everyone's at least got some more of the wisdom back. Then we interact with each other. The water moves through us. We cycle it through the atmosphere. There's a lot of stuff going on with this teacher water for sure. The studies of kind words or not on water and plants is amazing, isn't it? We see all around how it affects humans all the time. And it doesn't even take much effort at all to change the frequency of the water. I didn't realize I got so far behind, guys. Well, we can stay on a little bit later today. Let's try to read more of the comments. I always feel like I want to get through and read all of your comments, if I can, but that this is truly something that all you have to do is say, I love you. Thank you. Like that's all you have to, you can say it as many times as you want, or you can just that many times before you drink it. You don't have to even say it with your words or with your voice. You can say it as if you're talking without talking, and that's how you send energy to it. The telepathic communication also inspires it, right? You can do it in the bathtub and you'll notice that the water that's all around you will change, and then you'll improve. You'll feel it helping you. The vortex of water that moves around and unites you. It's really beautiful, Yeah, it's so cool. And we can do that really easily. Also, allowing the water to spin. A lot of us will notice that the structure of the water breaks down when it's been piped and bounces off sharp edges. And so they're just reminding us to also let it spin. Like I know that I'll do this with you can do like a funnel. It doesn't have to be you can make a funnel out of a jug or something like that, just cut the end off. And then as it moves in, spin it or use something to stir it to get it in this vortex and as it spins, then what they show, it looks like, you see like the chemical makeup of something and there's like the lines and then a little thing. They're showing that it becomes more of like a honeycomb. And when before it's just kind of scattered, and it helps. So spinning it, so if you have a cup with a lid on it, you can do that inside there too. Just create a vortex, just spin it, you know, responsibly. If you got a place where it's going to spray all over your computer or device, it's not my fault. Just be aware of that. Anyway, it will change the frequency of the water you're drinking. Love looks for more love, law of attraction. Exactly. And yeah, love is all this joy, this love, this euphoria that we're all in was meant to. What Storm Elsa? I know. What Storm Elsa? Too funny. I think it's hilarious. It's this weird storm that we're getting. I think that it's considered past, but people are still experiencing the effects of it. That storm happened when I got a sore throat. I'll bet it did. It is beautiful to see that they are not so concerned about what people think of them. Yes, different. And I am awesome. Is there attitudes? I wonder what. I'm so far behind. I don't know what you're referring to. You will see that they are so concerned about what people think of them. Back spine pain. Yeah, all ages. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about. So that is also connected with. So a lot of people have been saying. I've been noticing this. There's like a bunch of people talking about the third Kundalini, and there's like this third Kundalini that's happening. And I know I had an experience with it. I'm just finishing it up actually, but it's like this. There's this thing happening, right? We also have a lot of release that's required through the joints throughout the back and other parts of the body, the entire body of joints. It's like going back to the pipes again, like a sink. You'll have bends in the pipe, and the spot where it's bent, that's where things will kind of get trapped, or kind of get clogged in that area. And so when we're breathing in with our meditation, breathing in through our nose and drawing up that light by bending our belly or our diaphragm, holding it for a moment, and then when we exhale through our mouth, we like send, like you would a burst of water through the pipe, send a burst of light to specific locations on our bodies to release these things that are like clogging or making it more difficult, right? So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Also, I'll notice that because each vertebrae contains memory between it. A lot of the memory that we've been storing in that location is a little less than lovely. A lot of times we'll notice different moments throughout the lifespan of this body. We'll have stored moments of trauma, of difficulty, and then when it cycles through, because you have the spinal fluid, the waters of the spine, when it cycles through, then we'll revert back to that memory until it's healed, until it's cleared, right? And so it's important that it's clearing itself right now. Joy to share. I haven't seen you for a while. Joy to share 888. Good to see you. Hey, everybody. Good to link in today on this day of the sun. And it's so good to see you. Welcome. Oh, Chef Deb noticed too. It's so good to see you. I've missed you. What's up with the tailbone? There you go. Still blurry eyesight, but I've been using cucumber for the dry eyes. I cut a slice in half and put it under the eyes. If the slice is thin, Del Wills, I don't know those last words are it's supposed to be. So yeah, the eye stuff. A lot of people actually have been talking about this past 2 months, but in particular the past week and a half or so. I started to get it too. With my experience, what we're actually starting to see is we're seeing more, and it's not like it's arriving. Like the stuff we're seeing isn't like, it's like the way they visually make it looks like white gelatin falls away, and then you can see that someone's been standing in front of you the whole time. Like the veil doesn't just get lifted up or ripped down the middle. It's like holes, right? And so that's what we've been seeing so far. But now it's like something more. And the blurry stuff, that like things seem out of focus, and then I start to realize that it's only one thing, or some basic same concept that's out of focus, and it's coming in and out of focus because I am raising my frequency. See, we don't ascend straight up. We go like this. And so as we raise up our vibration to see the thing up here, we touch it and move back down. We kind of in and out of focus of the thing. And this may not be what I'm talking about for you. You know, it may be different for you, though. This is a really common occurrence. And also, when I went to the eye doctor, they're like, "Your eyes are better than before. What are you doing?" You know, to, you know, and so I've not lost anything. I'm, you know, so, you know, do you use your own discernment and check that out on your own. And then also, regarding the tailbone, this is again the spine, with the spine, the clearing of the spine. There's memory that needs to purge from here, you know, and to release. The tail, yes, so important, is what Atlas was showing. Breathe out. The tail, right? The tailbone, the tail. It's very important to breathe out. And when we breathe out, then we release that stuff we've been holding on to, you know, like where we release the stuff that's been keeping us at a lower frequency. I've heard that the solar flash will only happen when a certain level of consciousness is reached, like a collective threshold must be reached first. Interesting. I you know, I know that there are a bunch of different timelines that are playing out, and there's going to be like people standing beside each other, and each one of them experienced a different timeline, and no one was wrong, and not everybody experienced all of this, the other person's timelines. You know, that's the part I don't fully understand exactly how the world works, because I can touch you and I know that you're real in front of me. You know, like this is something that's so in the quantum that I don't understand it with the mind that I'm using to process the knowledge. It's definitely really interesting though, isn't it? It's really fun to jump down that thought experiment and discover some of that. Hello, Mela. Hello, everyone. Good to see you, Maya. I had to have a wisdom tooth pulled out last Friday, and I feel so miserable. So wonderful to be here with you for a while. It's so warm and loving here. I'm happy to have you. Welcome. I'm sorry to hear what happened with you. I know that there is a lot of things occurring here in the throat chakra area. Some people have reported like full on like dental trauma. There are some people talking about their teeth are shifting, like they've never had spaces between their teeth before, and all of a sudden they are waking up with like spaces between their teeth. Sore gums, and even like canker sore kind of stuff. A lot of people have been talking about this lately. I've been noticing it where it feels like I can feel my pulse in my gums, but it's not really painful. It's just I'm feeling that something's going on here in the mouth and the gum area. So, yeah. So I'm sorry to hear you're going through that. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you're able to join us. Speaking of birthdays, Mela, yeah, I got a birthday coming out, and that's actually a line that the reason I care about it. I don't actually care about my birthday. I've not been. I think that last time I really was looking forward to a birthday, or really even noted it very much, was really like when I was 10. Though I can really feel this particular one because I'm excited for it, because this is a timeline that I've been waiting for since I was 6 years old. The years 44 through 46, the end of 46. Those are going to be the hard years, and I didn't know what that meant, but the visuals of it looks like purification by fire, and ended up being some types of. The past 3 years have been intense, right? The past 3 years have been very uncomfortable, and you know, since 2023, when the solar flash stuff really started, and so I'm really excited that we're almost at the other side of that, because then, yeah, that's one less thing to worry about, I guess, is the way to say it. That's not what I meant to. But yeah, it's very cool. Good to see you, Sarah. Welcome. It's going to be a really fun week for sure. Who is loving these intense energies? Yeah, dude. Year of the Fire Horse 2026. It's actually so fun. It's exciting. It also feels a little bit like you're getting ready to jump out of a perfectly good airplane with a safe, parachute and everything, but still, you're just like, what the heck? I feel we're almost done because it's feeling lighter for me. Yeah, it very much good. I'm happy that you're there. And it just, you fall into, it gets even better all of a sudden. It's so fast and so beautiful. I'm really excited to hear that you have that experience. We are, and the healing that we're doing right now is connected directly to this. Oh no, I had an update about an hour ago. There's a super huge solar storm on the way that the graphs can't pick up. Ooh, thank you. I was wondering. I don't know if you guys saw the KP index spike so dramatically. It got up to a 7.667 during the window of time that people were doing the chant yesterday. I think it was starting before it. There was two spikes, but yeah, we're getting some really beautiful energy happening. Thank you for the update. I appreciate that. I haven't looked for a little bit. To exit, eternal star ones. To exist. To exist. Yeah. Those comets. There's two of them. That's it. I like that, the way that you pull the language down so I can see it differently. For whatever reason, some of us are super sensitive to these energies. It seems like the everyday people don't feel them so much, right? As much. I don't know one person that has experiencing chronic fatigue. A lot of us are feeling tired, but I feel like we're being called to sleep for downloads, because you're not resisting the downloads so much, right? We're also getting a real spike in heat where I'm at. And it's so hot. It's so hot. I decided I was going to turn on the air conditioner. And when I did, then I realized it doesn't work. So, yeah, but it's up to, I think we're getting up to 99, 95 today. We're shattering the record, though, for this time of year. It's way hotter than it usually is. You need alkaline to alkaline the body. Clearly, you're too acidic. Oh, regarding the acid reflux, right? And there's other ways to do it more than what I had said. Oh, here you go. Thank you. Alkaline foods and herbs. Look into the medical medium. Celery juice every morning. Amazing. It will fix those stomach issues as well. I know that there are a lot of things that you can do, and that's one really good example. So thank you very, very much for saying that. It's very helpful. There are so many things that we can do that we have in our refrigerator and our cupboards, that we have growing in our backyard. I mean, and I'm not talking about somebody who has a garden, we're talking about dandelions and stuff, being aware whether or not there's been spraying on the area, of course, pesticide kind of stuff or whatever it is that they do, weed killer, if they don't, though, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we can take and that are just natural healing. It's folk medicine. It's original medicine. It's not new age at all. It's the first. Hurtin', just pull the curtain. I love that. That's so funny, Josh. I have missed you. My sleep ever since the last summer is awful. Every other night, I'm wired but tired and up till very late. And the next night, I'm so exhausted, I sleep great. So weird. Jill, you're telling my story. It's been really strange. It's been really strange lately. And while we are doing what we're doing, what this is like, the integration that we're doing right now is the most important factor regarding this month in particular. And that was what I meant to say before. Thank you for bringing that up for me. Is this is the month of healing. People pull back a lot more this month, in the month of March, typically. Like Elsa, I remember her mentioning a little while ago, talking about what March Madness meant and those types of things. And we're in the March Madness period where it's time to heal those parts that we've kind of been putting on the back burner. And it's not just March alone, though. This is when we really start to notice it, particularly as we reach the new year here. Now we're in the Aries season, it's the renewal and all of this stuff. I find it really fascinating that this year they're doing the Seder thing on the 4/4 portal too. There's a lot of stuff. Easter's landing the day after the 4/4 portal. There's a lot of things that seem really fun coincidence until you realize there's too many things for it to be coincidence at all. I actually don't personally believe in coincidence, but it takes time to allow yourself to truly embrace the facts in front of you. And that's okay with everybody in their own time. Though what we're doing now is we're watching a window of time where now everybody else is waking up. Now everybody else is coming up. And this is our time. This has been our time and still is our time to do our own healing, because whether or not you mean to be, whether or not that's true inside of you, or have created the intention for it, we are now the reluctant teachers. We are the leaders. We don't always think we are. I never have been that person that I on purpose. I go over there because the energy over here sucks, and so I go over there and make it better energy place to be in. And then people come because they're realizing there's now maybe sometimes the first time they ever realized it, there's an option. We can be over in this awesome place. We don't have to be in the suck. And so they'll follow, right? The reluctant leaders are the leaders of today, is how Spirit says it. And so that's why we're being encouraged to do deeper healing at this window of time more than any other time. It's time to address the different layers, the things that we've ignored or avoided, the skeletons in the closet, as it were. The inner child or the shadow self is tired of being alone and alienated. And it's time to reintegrate your wholeness for the whole body that you are. Now, when we say whole body, we're talking about the body of the energy body, the emotion body, the physical body, the etheric body. There's several bodies. It goes on and on and on until you get to whatever the original point is, though it's not really a location. And so allowing yourself to address these bodies with honor, it's required that we integrate the aspects that we have not wanted to be. Like, what happens? How does a shadow self happen? How do we get that? What occurs is that there's some type of judgment passed on us as a child, in your formative years, but not always just then. We'll notice that it can happen today, where we're talking to somebody and someone makes some type of a judgment. Usually you can feel that they're doing it because they're trying to help you. Like, they want to help you blend in with everybody else, probably due to self-preservation practices that they'd had learned as a result of the hands of a bully or something like that. Blend in and they won't notice you, kind of stuff. And we slowly will adopt subtleties. It's polite to do what this person prefers, to not use specific words because this person or that person is offended by them and things like that. And then it goes out bigger and bigger. Before we realize it, we have created this whole other person of us, we've created a cell for it, a prison for it. And typically we'll collect that, us, that inner child, and it'll be imprisoned in our sacral chakra specifically. Your sacral chakra is located about a finger or 2 finger widths below your navel or your belly button. And for some reason, that's where that part of your missing aspect goes. The shadow self is another word for that. So we do shadow work or inner child work. And it's not work at all. It's just going and finding that child and reintegrating those parts. It's okay to be the geek that you thought that was not a cool thing. Geeks are cool. So are nerds. They're cool. You know, letting yourself have that silly laugh instead of pretending to laugh in a way that's inauthentic. Hiding your smile because you're concerned about your teeth. You know, there's a lot of different things that we do that we peck away at our joy. We peck away and we prune the enjoyment of life, one thing at a time. And it gets shoved down here in the sacral chakra. And then we have all this gut stuff going on. You know, people have IBS and they'll have weird, tight stomach and anxiety and stuff. It's because all that energy it's trapped in there, and it needs to shed that outer shell. Shed the outer shell and release all of that by integrating that child aspect that you are. And you know what? The child aspect that you are is even more powerful than any wise sage you talk to. They are deeper, more clear channel than anyone you can meet today. They are wise innocence. And that we've been duped. We've been tricked to follow this path and to remove the most powerful part of you and hide it there. You know, it's time to bring it back. It's time to bring it back. And so, went on a bit more of a tangent there. So I would like to take a moment to just let people know we are doing our retreat. I didn't say anything about it, though. If you want to go back and look at an earlier live I did, I think last week, I went into it a little bit more in a detailed way. We a lot of people are coming. We're getting a lot of interest. It's going to be really fun. It's Celebration Retreat here in Mount Ida, Arkansas, on the Crystal Mountain. We'll be picking crystals and diamonds, have daily meditations, daily yoga, ceremonies, everyday fireside channelings. We're going to actually do some really cool healings. I'm bringing my cards. We can read your totem, so you can know what your totem is. We're going to do all kinds of really fun stuff. And what diamonds and crystals you find when we go to these places, you can keep and take home. It's going to be super fun. If you want to know more about it, here is the website. If you click that, or you can find that in the description of this video. We have people from Denmark coming. We have people from Washington State. We have people from Florida coming. We have people, I'm trying to think of everybody for Texas. There's a lot of people that are coming around for it. It's going to be super exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing anybody who wants to come. Again, you can look at that website for more information on that. So I'm really looking forward to it. That's where I want to be during the solstice. It's June 19th, 20th, and 21st. And this is the best time, in my opinion, to be sitting on the, it's not even my opinion at all. I'm supposed to be sitting on that Crystal Mountain for this time. And so I'm excited that I get to invite everybody else to come with me. Well, at least 33 other people. Joy to share, like ping ready now. Too cute. I wonder what you said. Joy to share. I've missed you. Oh, thank you. I have wondered about you. I wondered quite a bit about you, so I'm really glad to see you. Agree, there are 3, Mela. Yeah, it's really cool to find out as we kind of move in and see that there is more to this. Remember E.T. song from, I don't know how to say that, but Kanye West and Katy Perry at E.T. Aren't they those fallen angels? I don't know those people, so I don't know. I've is that person, the Perry lady that went in that pretend spaceship, that went in the pretend a rocket that was made to look like a phallic? Is that the person that you're talking about? I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody else know? I'm not. I'm not in with the new stuff. I have met so many people from the ages of 50 to 80, both male and female, who have sciatica. Any thoughts on why? Originally, there is a lot to do with the fact that our bodies are, we're kind of 157 as a species. We are made up of many different things. On a The level that I'm shown by spirit is that we are created by the collective of all. Now, some of the all that we're talking about are other beings that are on this planet. For instance, the lion is an example that they're making. Like you'll see a lioness like beings, and their DNA was used to create life on this planet. And though with humans, we have a couple other different kinds together as one. And those DNA splicings did come from, yes, in part, they're saying this is only partially true. They did come from places where gravity wasn't as it is here. Though they're also saying that there wasn't such gravity here originally. Like, which actually would make sense too if you think about it. All of the ancient forests are like incredibly large. Like those trees are enormous, and you'll see some of these other species, where they used to be massive. Seeing some of these dinosaur era, right? Like insects and stuff. Things used to be so much bigger. That would make sense to me. That a direct correlation to that would be the level of gravity on this planet has changed. However, there's something more to it. It's also it's mostly like around 60 something percent of that has to do with emotions. Has to do with the emotion that's not being healed. If you'll do studies on Eastern medicine, Eastern philosophy, acupuncture, if you go into the studies of Dolores Cannon and see her QHHT, and there's a variety of other examples, though we'll stick to those two at this point, is that they're showing you that there's an emotion body that's always underneath a physical symptom. And if we are able to address the emotion body within enough time, it doesn't have to manifest in a physical way. We can then be in our more aligned physicality. The other part of that, there's it's the different gravity things and stuff, as well as the oxygen and stuff. But then the other part of that is that we have been, over the course of the past 100 years, more and more slowly been choosing that to consume things that aren't considered food by any actual stretch of the imagination. Like these things that are included in our products that we eat, we purchase, that we put on our skin, that we put in our hair, on our faces, and all these different products get absorbed directly in the skin. I found that when I stopped, I'm not going to go into that tangent, but there's things that I used to do, like everybody, that's how you're supposed to moisturize your skin. That's how you're supposed to bring height to your hair, and so on and so forth. And we don't even realize it, though. Our body is absorbing it. And so those toxins collect around the joints. And so we can also purge them by the same means that we purge parasites. And so, it's not much of a leap to consider the likelihood that there's something more about that, like a more intentional thing to shorten the lifespan to something that's much smaller than is kind of more achievable by our body. There's something there. So that was a really good question. Thank you, Diane. I think the size also correlates to consciousness as well. I never thought of the gravity aspect, but that makes a lot of sense also. Yeah, and they kind of mentioned that has something to do with, and at the same time, there was like more oxygen. Like there was more oxygen. And so it caused the ability to like grow, bigger. It makes sense too if you think about like a goldfish. If you put a goldfish in a bowl, it stays small, but the larger and larger container it ends up in, the bigger it can get. You can actually become like a regular like fish that you'll go fishing for. Higher consciousness on an individual level brings us into lighter states. Could lower consciousness on a collective scale induce heavier physical gravity? Very interesting angles to explore. It is very interesting. I do know that typically, I saw your comment, Chef Deb, going along with this. Typically, her comment is, geez, I'm 5'2", bummer, is that we all notice, because I've been doing Zoom meetings with people for a lot of years now, like 5 years. And I'll ask every once in a while, I'll bring it up because I'm curious, how tall people are. And typically, and now there are definite people who are more than this, but typically starseeds or people on the awakening journey that have been connecting with us over the years have been remarkably short. It's a thing. I've met a few people who are 6 foot or over, like 2. Most people that I meet in this awakening experience, I'm taller than. Like we did that gathering or festival or whatever it was in Houston 2 years ago, and while we were there, I noticed that it was really easy to see where everybody was at. Like I was taller than them. I'm 5'7", and I just find that to be really fascinating to note. Now again, that's not like required. Everyone is going to be what they are, and it's going to be perfectly aligned. It's just fascinating, to see that typically we end up being the shorter of the bunch. I'm not sure why that is. I've actually I'm one of those people. I used to buy new DVDs. This is back when I was really big into movies. And I would leave the cellophane on. I'd like wait to open it kind of thing because it's just better. Anyway, I still haven't asked. I haven't asked Spirit because I'm not ready to know yet. I think it's kind of fun exploring, collecting the evidence for it. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. That was a fun one. You guys have all been amazing. I love you all so much. I do need to get going. You must be this short to ride this ride. Right. Yeah, I guess I'm a lot of people see, I come from a very tall family and I'm the short one. I'm the one with the small feet, and I don't actually have small feet. It's just that most of the women in my family have a size or wears between a size 10.5 and a 13 in women's, like that's a good size foot for a female, and I have like the small hands, like they're not small, but anyway, yeah, this is good. This has been a really fun conversation, and I'm really super duper excited for the next little bit here. We got some really fun state things coming through energetically. Neptune Cazimi right now, conjunction of Moon and Pleiades tomorrow. Then we have a day off. Then the 25th, Saturn Cazimi, and that day Yolanda Marie will be my guest. We're going to have a fun conversation, and I always look forward to talking and connecting with her. So that's going to be really awesome. And that's going to be the Saturn Cazimi. So we got Sun, Moon, because now then on the 26th, the conjunction of Moon and Jupiter. So we got the equal and balance. And then on the 27th, then Naomi's coming on at 5 p.m. Central Time. She is the most amazing energy, and she's not been on the show before, so I'm super duper excited to be here to be there for the first coming out, as it were. It's going to be super fun and exciting. And then you go into the Palm Sunday and all that stuff that's happening. We are looking forward to feeling the energies of these comets as they move past us. The falling of the stars is kind of, it looks like all around us right now, and it's going to get better and better. Learning to expect the joy often initiates it. It's a little fun little example. We've been taught ourselves over however many decades that teaching or that expecting something causes like unfavorable emotional experience, right? That the disappointment that was expected makes it easier to deal with it, or something like that. When what we're doing is we're manifesting it and also turning off your ability to receive it. So expecting it will initiate it. You'll feel it too. You'll begin to be able to tap into that, the beauty, the love, the bliss, and the utter joy. We are here and we are arriving. While in motion, there may be a likelihood to oscillate, right? To find ourselves in one frequency and then another. It's totally dependent on you and your choices in each moment. When we feel the dip, remember to choose again the other way. There's two contrasting emotions, and all of the things are based in these root emotions. You have love and you have fear, right? And whichever one you choose is where you'll lean your energy toward. Choosing love over fear will always bring heightened awareness in the joyness, in the isness, in the real moment that we're in, so I look forward to seeing what that's like for all of us in the next couple of days. This is going to be beautiful. I'm sending all of you so much love. Thank you so much for being here. And please remember that you're not alone. And the parts that you're going through right now, those are temporary moments. Those are moments that we're moving through. We often will feel like this thing that is happening is going to happen forever. I call it foreverism. Oh no, I'm going to feel this crappy forever, even though it just barely started and you've had the most amazing week until that moment, right? Please allow yourself to notice the temporary nature of it. And as soon as you notice the temporary nature of it is when it starts to go out and flow through you. So I'm sending all of you so much love. Keep clapping. Keep bringing your joy forward, letting people see it. Don't tuck in your joy. Embrace it and show it. It is the gift of each moment that you interact with anyone around you. It is infectious, and it will cause their experience to evolve as well. I'm sending all of you